21st Century Skills, Competencies, and Jobs for a Human-centric AI-driven Workplace. Given the accelerating pace of smart technology-driven automation and its impact on people's required skills and knowledge in the dynamic job market, there is a growing need for an always accessible type of continuous learning that covers life-wide and lifelong learning. To thrive as a citizen and participant in the workplace, people need to not only be equipped with the relevant literacies, competencies, and character qualities, but also make proactive smart choices about where the needs and opportunities are shifting and where they can make meaningful contributions. As discussed in Chapter 7, ultra-personalized AI-enabled education is a game changer to assist with more productive learning experiences. AI can also help to find relevant jobs and tasks in an evolving marketplace that match people's interests, knowledge, skills, competencies, and experiences. AI is at the same time increasingly having a disruptive impact on many traditional jobs and tasks in the workplace and job market. In AI Superpowers, Kai-Fu Lee discusses a blueprint for human coexistence with AI, where he recommends that the private sector who drives the AI revolution should take the lead in creating a more human-centric AI-driven workplace with new humanistic jobs that are more social, compassionate, creative, or strategy-based in nature to complement the AI-driven software and machines that can focus on automation, optimization, and non-social related tasks. There are already events and webinars around the globe, such as the one organized by the UK-India Business Council in 2020 about rewiring the 21st century workplace, how to make it human-centric and tech-driven, which brainstorms how organizations can redesign the future workplace, how people's health and well-being can affect the health and well-being of the company or organization, how we can better integrate human behavior and technology to achieve long-term success, and what best practices can be shared to ensure people and organizations are making the most of both their human capital and technological assets. A few years ago, the World Economic Forum presented a meta-analysis of research about 21st century skills in primary and secondary education and extracted 16 skills in 3 broad categories of foundational literacies, competencies, and character qualities. Foundational literacies is focused on how people apply core skills to everyday tasks and provides an underpinning to build competencies and character qualities. Apart from literacy and numeracy skills, it also includes scientific, ICT, financial, and cultural and civic literacy. Competencies involve the ability of people to tackle complex challenges using skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, communication, and collaboration. Character qualities are about how people approach their changing environment, where they need skills such as initiative and curiosity to help with originating new ideas and concepts, adaptability and persistence to be more flexible and tough when faced with problems, and leadership along with social and cultural awareness to help people to have positive engagements in ways that are culturally, socially, and ethically acceptable and suitable. The WEF has also defined the top 10 job skills of 2025 in the categories of problem solving, self-management, working with people, and technology use and development. The problem-solving skills involve analytical thinking and innovation, complex problem-solving, critical thinking and analysis, creativity, originality, and initiative. Self-management skills include active learning and learning strategies and resilience, stress tolerance and flexibility, whereas working with people skills involve leadership and social influence. Examples of technology use and development related skills include technology design and programming and technology use, monitoring and control. In Critical Skills for the 21st Century Workforce, Ryan Wharton, Alex Casillas, and Fred Oswald identify 3 major forces that fundamentally change the nature of work in the 21st century, which are interpersonal, technological, and international in nature, and analyzed a core subset of 21st century skills related to these forces, namely teamwork, safety, customer service, creativity, critical thinking, metacognition, cross-cultural knowledge and competence, and integrity and ethics. Lasse Ruohonen in Artificial Intelligence, 101 Things You Must Know Today About Our Future, references a description of 24 skills that he published in a previous book, The Future of Higher Education, How Emerging Technologies Will Change Education Forever, and categorized as either people or business skills for the future. The people skills for the future involve self-awareness and self-assessment, emotional intelligence, social intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, empathy and active listening, cultural flexibility, perseverance and passion, a focus on the common good, mindfulness and meditation, physical training, and storytelling. The business skills for the future have to do with problem solving, creativity, adaptability to new technology, entrepreneurial mindset, sales and marketing, data analysis, presentation skills, environmental intelligence, large-scale thinking, accounting and money management, the ability to unplug, design thinking and design mindset, and spotting trends. In addition to these, Lasse Ruohonen also emphasizes 5 future skills and competencies which include AI, covering for example deep learning, machine learning, robotics, and self-driving car engineering, and blockchain, including cryptocurrency, social intelligence, which involves coaching, consulting, emotional intelligence, empathy, and helping others. Creativity mindset, which involves the ability to create something out of nothing, design thinking, design mindset, and personal brand cultivation. Computational thinking, which involves computational sense-making, contextualized intelligence, and virtual collaboration. And learning how to learn, which covers self-awareness, resilience, and mindfulness. From all of the above perspectives, we are getting a clearer picture of what skills and competencies we should develop to give us a better chance to survive and thrive in the smart technology era. The Institute for the Future has communicated their research findings about the essential drivers that will reshape the workplace landscape, as well as the salient work skills needed over the next decade in a report called Future Work Skills 2020, which was sponsored by the University of Phoenix Research Institute. This report specifically considers future work skills and competencies across a variety of jobs and work settings, and not the possible future jobs, which I'll elaborate on later in this section. The specific key drivers that they list include extreme longevity, which is about the impact of increasing global lifespans on the nature of learning, professions, and career trajectories. The ascent of AI-driven machines and systems, where workplace automation affects human workers doing mechanical or habitual repetitive tasks. The computational world, where the world is being instrumented and made programmable through enormous increases in sensors, communications, and IoT devices and processing power. Novel media ecology, where communication tools are enhanced with novel multimedia literacies and technology for digital animation, video production, media editing, augmented reality, and gaming. Superstructured organizations, where social media platforms and technologies drive novel forms of production and value creation at scale on a spectrum of highly personalized to global reach. And globally connected world, where increased global networking, interconnectivity, and interdependence provides tremendous opportunities for agile and diverse companies, organizations, communities, cities, and countries to innovate and grow. These 6 disruptive forces that are all contributing to the transformation of civilization and the societal landscape make it even more possible to implement the proposed MTP for humanity to drive beneficial outcomes for all through decentralized, adaptive, and agile economic, social, and governance systems that democratizes knowledge, science, smart technology, and other tools in optimal, values-based, and human-centric ways. The Institute of the Future further outlines 10 future work skills that would be crucial for people to be successful in the workplace going forward. 1. The first one is sense-making, as the ability to determine the deeper meaning or significance of what is being expressed, which I have also identified as a key area of competence as expressed through the 9th MTP goal, about implementing better collective sense-making for all of humanity and better alignment with respect to our common goals and visions. whereas the Institute of the Future primarily links sense-making to the rise of machines and systems. I think it can be linked to sense-making more broadly, as we are dealing with opposing views, perspectives, and conspiracy theories on social, cultural, economic, political, and many other levels. Other future work skills also linked to the identified disruptive drivers include 2. Social intelligence, as the ability to connect to others in a deep and direct way, to sense and stimulate reactions and desired interactions. 3. Novel and adaptive thinking, as the proficiency at thinking and coming up with solutions and responses beyond that which is rote or rule-based. 4. Cross-cultural competency, as the ability to operate in different cultural settings. 5. Computational thinking, as the ability to translate vast amounts of data into abstract concepts and to understand database reasoning. 6. New media literacy, as the ability to critically assess and develop content that uses new media forms and to leverage these media for persuasive communication. 7. Transdisciplinarity, as the literacy in and ability to understand concepts across multiple disciplines. 8. Design mindset, as the ability to represent and develop tasks and work processes for desired outcomes. 9. Cognitive load management, as the ability to discriminate and filter information for importance and to understand how to maximize cognitive functioning using a variety of tools and techniques. And 10. Virtual collaboration, as the ability to work productively, drive engagement, and demonstrate presence as a member of a virtual team. The OECD also produced the Future of Education and Skills 2030 Conceptual Learning Framework report on transformative competencies for 2030 that recommend 3 transformative competencies to help shape the future where well-being and sustainability is achievable, namely creating new value, reconciling tensions and dilemmas, and taking responsibility. More specifically, 1. They describe creating new value as innovating to shape better lives, such as creating new jobs, businesses, and services, and developing new knowledge, insights, ideas, techniques, strategies, and solutions, and applying them to problems both old and new, as well as questioning the current situation, collaborating with other people, and attempt to think outside the box. This ties in with applying creativity and critical thinking to innovate in line with a purpose, or even better, a massive transformative purpose. The 6th MTP goal is relevant there, as it is about collaborating in optimal human-centric ways to use our growing knowledge base and general-purpose technologies in a wise, value-based, and ethical manner to solve humanity's most pressing problems and creating abundance for everyone. 2. Reconciling strain, friction, and predicaments implies making sense of the many interrelations and interconnections between ostensible opposing or irreconcilable ideas, positions, and logical thinking, and considering the outcomes of actions over the short and long term. This kind of sense-making is exactly what I'm advocating for in an interdependent, globally connected world as we consider democratizing AI and shaping a better future for as many people as possible. This is again also in line with the 9th MTP goal about implementing better collective sense-making for all of humanity and better alignment with respect to our common goals and visions. A deeper understanding of contrasting views and a spectrum of positions not only assist in developing better arguments and reasoning to support specific positions, but also help to harmonize and find constructive and pragmatic solutions to problems and disputes in respectful and empathic ways. 3. Taking responsibility is all about being connected to the ability to reflect upon and evaluate one's own actions in light of one's experience and education, and by considering personal, ethical, and societal goals. This is absolutely key and in congruence with MTP goals 10, 11, and 12 that are focused on helping people to live more meaningful lives, developing virtues and character strengths, which includes wisdom and knowledge, courage, humanity, justice, temperance, and transcendence, as well as building local and virtual empathic communities with more meaningful work and relationships. What are the typical jobs related to artificial intelligence? The most obvious of the jobs related to AI is a data scientist, AI researcher, machine learning engineer, software developer, data engineer, data analyst, business analyst, and business intelligence developer. On the engineering and software development side, there is a preference towards cloud, edge, or hybrid development capabilities. These jobs involve creating the algorithms and ensuring they can connect to the data they need. Jobs also include solution architects that design or modify systems architecture to meet specific business needs and make sure the systems have a secure, scalable, and safe home and everything they need to function and work optimally. We also have data scientists who oversee delivering data-driven insights and AI solutions by collecting, analyzing, and interpreting multiple data sources through data processing and applying statistical and machine learning methods. Whether the data is correct, relevant, unduplicated, and unbiased is important here. We have data analysts who keep checking the data against the algorithm and the conclusions it is drawing in collaboration with data scientists. How is it reaching them? Why is it reaching them? Would a human draw the same conclusion? We have business analysts who interrogate businesses and problems to guide everyone else on what needs to be achieved and what system may need to be created in order to achieve this. Then we have data engineers who are developing algorithms to help make raw data accessible and more useful, processing data throughout the data science pipeline, labeling data, and ensuring data can be effectively used by data scientists and algorithms. AI researchers investigate new methods and approaches, developing new algorithms, architectures, and systems of solving problems, while data scientists configure and apply these algorithms and systems in real-world scenarios. This whole system is aimed to ensure that the intelligent machine is effective and that its outcomes are true and valid. These roles may have many names, but it is the tasks they perform that is important. Since we live in the smart technology era, and AI is but a part of that, there are many other jobs that use AI or are complemented by AI. These exist in robotics, nanotechnology, biotechnology, engineering, information technology engineering, systems engineering, mathematics, biomedical engineering, physics, quantum computing, and so on. Specific roles that are and will become increasingly more common as AI adoption and development increases are divided into 3 categories by an MIT study. They are called trainers, explainers, and sustainers. Some of these roles have up until now been undertaken as part of the general task of data scientists, data analysts, and researchers. However, each of these categories require much more time, effort, and energy than they are generally being given. Let us explore what they involve. Trainers are the people who teach machines how to mimic human behavior, how to talk, what to say, different contexts and worldviews, and how to show empathy or disgust, etc. They can be psychologists, marketing specialists, digital marketers, sociologists, anthropologists, historians, researchers, English majors, or any knowledgeable person in the subject matter. Trainer jobs, according to MIT Sloan, include, for example, 1. Customer language tone and meaning trainer, who teaches AI systems to look beyond the literal meaning of a communication by, for example, detecting sarcasm. 2. Smart machine interaction modeler, who models machine behavior after employee behavior so that, for example, an AI system can learn from an accountant's actions how to automatically match payments to invoices. 3. Worldview trainer trains AI systems to develop a global perspective so that various cultural perspectives are considered when determining, for example, whether an algorithm is fair. Next are explainers. These people will need to be able to know and explain how a respective algorithm or system works, what data it is relying on, why it works the way it works, and how it reaches the conclusions that it does. Gone are the days of I don't know, I don't understand, I can't reproduce it, or I can't explain why. Each AI system will need to be scrutinized and understood so that any layman can understand its process. Explainers do not need to be technical at all. They just need to understand technology and AI so that they can bridge the gap between the technical and the business. A technical background or studies will not hurt, but any person who is good at understanding and explaining in an accessible way will thrive in this role. According to MIT Sloan, some example explainer jobs include 1. Context designer, who designs smart decisions based on business context, process tasks, and individual professional and cultural factors. 2. Transparency analyst, who classifies the different types of opacity and corresponding effects on the business of the AI algorithms used and maintains an inventory of that information. 3. AI usefulness strategist, who determines whether to deploy AI versus traditional rules engines and scripts for specific applications. Finally, we have sustainers. In this chapter, the importance of these roles and the laws required to maintain an ethical global environment in the face of the smart technology era has been emphasized. Sustainers are among the up-and-coming roles that ensure this happens. They are the people who measure, check, and scrutinize that the systems are fair, true, unbiased, auditable, and designed and used responsibly with no negative consequences. Philosophers, ethicists, historians, political scientists, economists, sociologists, psychologists, researchers, and analysts will make great sustainers, but anyone with an eye for detail and motivation to see AI used properly will thrive in these roles. MIT Sloan provides the following examples of sustainer roles. 1. Automation ethicist, who evaluates the non-economic impact of smart machines, both the upside and downside. 2. Automation economist, who evaluates the cost of poor machine performance. 3. Machine relations manager, who promotes algorithms that perform well to greater scale in the business and demotes algorithms with poor performance. Lasse Ruoinen, in his book Artificial Intelligence, 101 Things You Must Know Today About Our Future, has listed some example AI-related jobs that will likely have more demand going forward. These include an AI chatbot designer who designs AI-based chatbots that can perform customer services in a user-friendly and effective manner. An AI digital marketing engineer who understands how to leverage various digital marketing and social media tools for more effective AI-driven marketing strategies. An AI business strategy consultant who examines a company and recommends ways that the business can build AI services and products. An AI strategy consultant for the public sector who can identify potential obstacles that will come to the fore due to the initiation and implementation of AI into society and can solve problems through AI training and advising. A tech addiction counselor or coach who has the know-how, skills, and knowledge to assist people in dealing with the emotional and physical impacts of increased AI adoption and helping to prevent unhealthy ways of using the technology. And a creativity coach that help people to develop and improve their human-centric skills with respect to creative expression along with social and emotional intelligence. In a Glassdoor post, Who's Hiring AI Talent in America? Andrew Chamberlain lists typical as well as some less common AI-related jobs on their Glassdoor job hosting platform. Some of the more unusual ones include an AI copywriter who writes the copy used by AI chatbots addressing customer services and other needs and ties in with the AI chatbot designer role mentioned earlier. An AI journalist who covers news in the rapidly progressing AI research and application sectors. An AI analyst and strategy consultant who provides AI-related consulting and strategic advice for businesses and organizations that use and implement AI solutions. And user experience designer for AI who develops stylish, user-friendly, easy-to-use, and fit-for-purpose AI interfaces for customers. A marketing manager for AI groups who are building the company and product brand awareness and helping to generate leads for AI-driven product or service offerings. An attorney for AI groups who assist in managing highly valued AI intellectual property and legal-related matters of companies. And a technical sales director who is involved in supporting the sales of AI-driven products and services to potential customers. What about the next 10 years? What AI-related jobs do we anticipate given the current trajectory and extrapolations we can make? Cognizant has provided their perspective on this as a digital business solutions and services partner for enterprises. In response to the emergence of new smart technologies, new business models and practices, and a changing workforce, their Center for the Future of Work has been chartered to examine how work is currently changing and will change over the next decade or so. In their report on 21 more jobs of the future, they have added an additional 21 future jobs that they have contemplated for a total of 42 jobs through the period until 2029. Their low to mid technology level jobs within 5 years include man-machine teaming manager, AI business development manager, bring your IT facilitator, ethical sourcing manager, fitness commitment counselor, digital tailor, walk talker, tidewater architect, esports arena builder, data trash engineer, Uni4Life coordinator, head of business behavior, joy adjutant, vertical farm consultant, VR arcade manager, and juvenile cybercrime rehabilitation counselor. Their anticipated low to mid technology level category of jobs within 10 years include personal data broker, subscription management specialist, chief purpose planner, virtual store Sherpa, highway controller, and personal memory curator. Cognizant's mid to high technology level jobs within 5 years includes cyber attack agent, master of edge computing, quantum machine learning analyst, virtual identify defender, cyber calamity forecaster, head of machine personality design, voice UX designer, AI assisted healthcare technician, cyber city analyst, smart home designer, data detective, algorithm bias auditor, chief trust officer, financial wellness coach, and genomic portfolio director. Their forecasted mid to high technology level jobs within 10 years include augmented reality journey builder, haptic interface programmer, genetic diversity officer, flying car developer, and machine risk officer. If many of these jobs materialize over the next decade or beyond, we are certainly entering an interesting and exciting phase of human civilization. What should you study? As we have seen above, you do not need to fear if science, mathematics, and technology are not for you. If you want to work directly with AI, there are many technical and non-technical courses and degrees that you can do now, and even more that will be available in the near future. This is not to mention that if you are entrepreneurially minded, follow your passion and just be sure that whatever business you want to start uses AI as a tool. It will simply be more competitive and sustainable if it does. You can study information engineering, mathematics, statistics, information technology, software engineering, or computer science, specializing in machine learning or AI. You could do a robotics degree, a degree in physics, or study anything to do quantum or nanotechnology. Study data science. Study business. Study anything to become an expert. Machine learning relies on expertise and data to do its job. So if you are an expert in marketing, economics, sociology, or even zoology, you can partner with someone more technically minded and use AI in whatever your endeavor. For the less technically minded, study history, philosophy, sociology, marketing, or anthropology. Study ethics, politics, or economics. Study psychology, history, or linguistics. Study anything that might position you to be involved in the more human side of artificial intelligence. The side that trains it, keeps it in check, and ensures it is not ever biased and is always fair. Whatever you choose to study, ensure you always maintain knowledge and education, even informal, on what technology can do. Technology is the tool in the hands of all humans, and it is people who can use it to solve problems. The more we know about the world, human needs, and human nature, the better equipped we are to think critically, the more empowered we are to solve today's problems and participate in the smart technology revolution. If studying, formal education, and entrepreneurship are not for you, there are many ways you can get involved in data labeling, data verifying, and aiding in machine learning. Much of the dialogue has, reasonably, revolved around the further displacement of unskilled workers. While many jobs have already and will continue to disappear due to general technology and automation, this does not mean that other jobs are not and will not continue to surface. The responsibility is on AI-powered and data-driven organizations taking stock of what needs to be done to support machine intelligence and achieve success, and opening up roles necessary to label, verify, and teach data. The World Economic Forum's The Future of Jobs Report 2020 provides some perspectives on the COVID-19 related disruptions in 2020 and beyond, where they position this within a longer history of economic cycles, as well as their anticipated viewpoint of the impact of technology adoption on jobs and skills for the period until 2025. The report highlights that the persistent pace of technology adoption is likely to continue and may even be expedited in specific areas, with the future of work has already transpired for a large portion of the online white-collar workforce. They observed that AI-driven automation together with the COVID-19 recession is creating a so-called double disruption scenario for workers, that inequality is likely to be aggravated, and that job destruction is actually accelerating with less jobs being created, although in the longer run, the WEF believes that more future jobs will be created than jobs destroyed. They have also pointed out that the skills gap will still be significant, with a stronger demand over the next 5 years for skills such as problem solving, critical thinking and analysis, active learning, flexibility, resilience, and stress tolerance. With online learning and training courses flourishing, it seems that those employed are more attuned to personal development, whereas those unemployed focus more on learning computer science, data analysis, and information technology skills. Given the expected workplace and skill demand changes and constraints in the labor market, the time available to reskill and upskill employees has also become less. It is good to note that companies during this time still seem to place considerable value on human capital investment. The WEF recommends that the public sector needs to provide more committed support to upskill or reskill employees that have higher potential to be dislodged or losing their jobs. They also advise that businesses need to invest in environmental, social, and governance metrics for improved measuring of human and social capital and associated human capital accounting. In the Globotics Upheaval, Richard Baldwin shares 3 rules of thriving in the age of globots, which involves the combination of new telemigrant phase of globalization and the new AI-driven form of robotics that can do white-collar tasks. These include 1. Trying and find jobs that do not compete directly with white-collar robots in the form of AI-driven intelligence and telemigrants as remote human intelligence. 2. Looking to develop skills and competencies that allow you to steer clear of direct competition with AI-driven intelligence and remote human intelligence. And 3. Understanding that humanity is not a disadvantage or an impediment, but can give you ascendancy in many instances. Richard reckons that in the future, a good heart may be as important to economic success as having a good head was in the 20th century and a strong hand was in the 19th century. I agree with this sentiment and would love to see that we get better at building a more values-based civilization as described in the MTP for Humanity and zoom in on maximizing quality of life, community building, virtues, and character strength development, sense-making, standard of living, well-being, and meaningful living of everyone. By democratizing AI and using it in optimal human-centric ways that are based on wisdom, good values, and ethics, we can not only be smarter in how we dynamically solve problems, but also create opportunities and abundance and share the benefits with everyone.